everyone. I'm Julie with Highlight San Diego, and we are here with TJ of TJ Carter Photography. Thank you for having us.
Oh, I'm so happy you guys are here. It's such an honor to be interviewed by you guys, and hopefully I do you guys well today.
Oh, I'm sure you will. Let's dive in. Tell me about your business and how you got started in photography.
Yeah, so I've been doing my business now for 2.5 years. It's going into the third year. I was always interested in photography. I was the editor of my high school yearbook, so it kind of started there.
Okay.
And then recently, the last 10 years in the medical field, I did photos on infants, so medical photos. So then
wow.
I had like dibble dabble in there. It wasn't this kind of photography, but it was still photography in nature. And then when I had my daughter 3 years ago, I was like, I need a creative outlet, and I love taking family photos like of my family, and I kind of was like, I think I'm gonna like this. And so I just started doing it, and it was just a creative outlet that like gave me so much joy that it's just been growing and growing and growing since then.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So if you started with your family, I'm sure you do a lot of family photography. What is your kind of the bread and butter? What types of shoots do you do?
Definitely family photography. Like Christmas photos, I'm
Yeah.
like totally busy from October to December doing those kind of photos. But
Okay.
I do lots of like couples, I do weddings, I do maternity, newborns, and I also actually do like headshots and branding photos. Last week I actually did a photo shoot for a dermatology office, and we did all the doctors in the office refresh their headshots, and also did like group photos for them and for their Instagram and their social media accounts.
Oh, awesome. So out of all those types, do you have a favorite?
Probably family photos like have my heart.
Okay.
Just because I get to like watch those kids, like when their repeat clients go up through the years.
Yeah.
So it's usually like it'll start maternity photos, and then I'll come back for newborn photos.
Oh, how
and
fun.
then I'll do the smash cake photos.
Okay.
And then you just get to watch them grow up, and I love just seeing the children and the family evolve, and then even adding more family members on like as they come.
That is so special, and kind of like watching the memories unfold and capturing them for them.
Yeah.
So what would you say is your biggest passion with photography?
Oh gosh, that's a great question. There's so much that I love about photography. I think probably like my favorite thing about it is even if I have 10 families in a week, every family is unique, and every family has a different story to tell, or every couple has a different story to tell. So just genuinely getting to be out there with people and meeting them and getting to like know who they are and capture like, if you're a goofy family, like capturing your goofy family and like getting you guys laughing, or if you guys don't want to smile, or if you have little Annabelle who's 2 and she's not going to smile for the camera, she doesn't have to smile for the camera. Like let her be the 2-year-old that she wants to be. So like just getting to capture you in your genuine fashion and like making you feel comfortable during. It's supposed to be fun. Like I don't want it to be like stressful. I want it to be easy and just really a great experience for you guys.
I know, and I think I know personally, even speaking, that I've heard from friends and stuff that when you think about getting behind the camera, especially professionally, it could be a little scary because you think, oh, this, that, and the other, how am I going to look? Talk to me about some of, I looked through your Instagram and the photos are beautiful and the lighting and the sunsets. What types of locations, I know you do the beach and stuff, but how do you pick where you're going to be? And how do you make people shine through whatever the circumstance?
Yeah, so much goes into it. It's not just about showing up, but like you said, all the planning beforehand. When you contact me, I want to know what your vision is. So I want to know, do you want like a beach location? Do we want, mountain scenes, grasslands? Do we want a park location? Or do we want, something rooftop in the city? What do you want? And we go from there. And then once we decide that, then we talk about styling. Styling is so important. And I take all the stress out of that. When you book with me, I give you guys a style guide that's curtailed to your individual needs. You don't have to go out and buy all brand new clothes. You can shop from your closet, but it kind of helps you coordinate like the perfect outfit for the location that we choose. So it's really easy for you just to look your personal best and get ready for the photos.
Oh, how nice. That's definitely an easy touch to take that off people. Tell me about, so with all the different locations, what have been some of your favorites? And I know a wedding is going to differ from the beach so much, but if you had to pick your top 3 in San Diego.
Definitely, I'm a beach photographer.
Okay.
So all the beaches, my 2 favorite beaches are Hotel del Coronado, because it has the dunes and it has the best long stretches of beaches. It's just, you can never go wrong there. Another favorite is Scripps Pier in La Jolla. That has the beautiful pier in La Jolla beach scene, and then also has gorgeous mountain backgrounds. But then recently I did a couple photo shoot, and they were like, we don't want beaches. We used to live in Hawaii, so we're done with beaches. And I was like, I'm a beach photographer. Why did you call me? But we figured something out, and we did the rooftop in San Diego. And they're some of my most favorite photos I've ever taken. And it's like, that was a new creativity that I got to tap into, and like I got to like expand and open my eyes and like kind of figure out what they wanted. And like we got to do it together, and it was really fun. And that's what I want. Like, I'm not going to be pigeonholed to, you know, just the beach. If you want to do your in-home session or wherever, you know, the sky's the limit what we can do.
Oh, that's awesome. So those are some great memories. Speaking of memories, out of all the shoots you've done, what has been one of the most memorable shoots from the subjects that you were shooting? I know you've done proposals and things like that, so I imagine that would be pretty special.
Yes, that's definitely top on the list. Proposals, those are probably, I mean, proposals is the kind of thing where it's like, you get the shot or you don't get the shot. But what's funnest thing about the proposals is when the spouse calls me or the future spouse calls me, and then they plan everything and they're just so nervous and they just have this idea in their head, and I get to help them like make those dreams come true. And like, it could be as simple as like, you know, we'll pin drop the location and that's where we're going to meet, and it could be that, because you know, it's like,
you have to be kind of behind the scenes.
We're not going to meet, usually we don't meet each other, or other times it could be really involved where it's like, no, let's meet at this location, let's plan exactly where you're going to walk down, where you're going to stand, so it can be as involved or not involved as you want. I love those, and then getting to see like
the reaction,
and, like, being in that, it's like you literally cry while you're taking the photos.
Yeah, and then they're going to remember you forever since you were there for their special moments.
Yeah, for sure. And then another session that I love to do are extended family sessions. I just did one recently with 11 family members, but I think the youngest was under 2, and then the oldest was the great grandparents, and they were in their 90s.
Wow.
So just like those generational families where you get to see, I think there was maybe 5 different generations in that family. It was just so cool to see like great grandpa holding like his littlest granddaughter and like kissing on her. Like,
that's so special.
Super special, yeah.
Okay, now before we started, you were telling me about a trip you have coming up. Tell me a little bit more about where you're going and what you're going to be doing.
Okay, so this year, like I'm going on 3 years or 2.5 years into my photography business, so I've started to reinvest in education. And I started with, what did I do? I did an editing course, for a 3-week intensive editing course, where I was really beefing up like my Photoshop skills and my Lightroom skills. And then I also did what's called a shootout with one of the top San Diego photographers that I love. And what she does is she did a styled shoot and had a bunch of photographers come out, and then we just learned like to shoot from her angle and like her kind of mindset.
Yeah. So
we did that recently, but then my big one is Alaska.
Okay, so what are you going to do in Alaska?
So in Alaska, we're going to work with 2 mentors, Lauren Samuels and Teresa Sharon. They're like, for me, I would call them like the Shaquille O'Neals or the Michael Jordans.
Okay.
In like, you know, the photography business, where I really love them. And they're going to host us for a week in beautiful Alaska, and they have different styled sessions, so families, couples, and we're going to just shoot them. After we shoot them, we're going to learn how to edit them in like their way, and also just like bonding and community with other fellow photographers. It's an isolating business in the photography world, but it's surprisingly a very small niche community where women come together and support each other. So I'm just so looking forward to interacting with these fellow ladies.
That sounds like it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see some of what comes out of the event. Speaking of going to Alaska and traveling, if maybe you have or you had a photography bucket list of someone or something you want to shoot, what would that be?
So easy.
Okay.
Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, okay. Like at her house in Santa Barbara or
anywhere she'll
have you. Okay.
Really quick backstory. I'm an Oprah Winfrey fan. I used to live in Chicago for 5 years, and I actually and in college I would schedule my classes around seeing her show at 4 o'clock.
I love it.
This was before DVR back in the day. But when I lived in Chicago, that's when she was ending her show there.
Okay.
And I went to her very last show.
Wow.
Row. So like, and,
Talk about a
and
memory.
to do that, I mean, I had to email them like 100 times a day for like a month.
Yeah.
But I got on, so like to meet her like in person and actually shoot her would be like a blessing and a dream come true.
All right. Well, I'm sure you
Oprah?
can make it happen. Yeah, Oprah, if you're listening. Okay, tell me a little bit now. An important question. How do people get in contact with you?
Yeah, you can, two ways. The easiest way I would say would be to go to my website. It's tjcarterphotography.com.
Okay.
You can see my investment prices. You can contact me. You can also book just directly on my website and pick whatever plan you like. Or you can go to my Instagram page and you can just slide into my DMs.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's easy too.
DM.
Let me go back real quick. You just said your pricing schedule. Not obviously saying the exact pricing, but I know that it might sound, when someone hears a professional photographer, they might think this is out of reach. So how does it work at different price points, or what are the different offerings?
Yeah, definitely. Photography, I will say, a lot of photographers like to use the word investment just because, you know, it is an investment, and depending on your budget, the prices can go up there. I like to offer what I call mini sessions twice a year, and those are heavily discounted prices so that I usually offer them. I did a round for Mother's Day because I just like to give back to all the mamas out there.
Yeah.
And then I also do it during the Christmas card season, so
Okay.
like October, November. But what I also like to do is I offer a short and sweet session year round.
Okay, and
which
what's
is
that?
Very similar to my mini session. Minor little details, but the price range is very similar. So I mean, I kind of offer my mini sessions year round if you guys wanted to check that out.
That's awesome. It sounds like kind of a good way for people who might not have ever used a professional photographer. Try it out, and then I'm sure they're going to fall in love and then come back. I'm sure the repeat clients.
Get a little taste.
Yeah.
Exactly. Get a little taste, and then if you love it, then come back for the full experience.
Awesome. Well, I mean, I know looking at your Instagram, everything is beautiful. So I'm very impressed with all of your work. Thank you so much for sitting down with us. This has been so fun.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Of course.